You are watching Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thick dead skin peel. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Morgan, I've told you, I will introduce these videos. Oh, do you know what? He's been pestering me for ages to let him do this. You're not going to do any again. You're stealing me thunder. You've got the world's best voice in the world. You know, how can I compete with that?
Sorry, Nurse Richard, I won't do it again.
No, you won't do it again. And maybe I'll have to find somebody else.
I'll introduce the next one. I'm much cheaper than Morgan Freeman. 5 donuts and it's a deal.
5 donuts. There, that's a deal. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thank you for joining me. Yes, I know I do get a bit silly sometimes, but as I've said before, I've got a bit of an overactive imagination, and to stop myself getting bored, and to stop you guys getting bored of watching the same thing all the time or saying the same thing every now and then, just do something a little bit silly, because life's too short not to be silly. I've said this before, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. You need a bit of silliness to get you through life. Not too much, obviously. There's a time and a place. What can I tell you about this video? As you might guess from the title, those of you who are fans of seeing really, and I mean really thick skin peeling away, you're going to really enjoy this one. It's a bit twitchy, this fella. It was making a few little weird noises. Now, you won't see the thick peeling yet, but it's a shocker of a peel when it actually does happen. And up above me, you might just see a subscribe button. I do forget to do this all the time, which is to ask you guys to like, follow, and share the page. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what I do. Because so many watch and don't necessarily click that subscribe button. That's all we need you to do. Because the kids are still mithering me. Have you got a play button yet, Dad? No, I haven't. I'm hoping by the end of this year I'm on a mission. So throughout this video, you'll see stupid pop-ups above me saying like or subscribe. And hopefully that'll remind you to do it. Because my memory's like a goldfish. I barely remember my own name when I wake up most mornings. So I always forget to ask, but I would appreciate it if you could. Anyway, back to this here. There's a chap who came in with his wife, and as always, when couples come in, especially couples who've been married quite a long time, as these two had, I think it was over 50 years, she'd got to the end of her tether with him not listening to her. Now, he might still not listen to her, but he had a really good excuse for not being able to hear her. And he just had a problem in one ear. So as the first bit comes away and we go back in, you'll begin to see the extent of the problem. You will when it starts peeling away. So what you can see, that white string there, it's very narrow entrance. It's really difficult to get inside. Is from the eardrum all the way to the entrance. You've got this extremely thick layer of dead skin that's just not left the ear. And it goes all the way over his eardrum, and he could barely hear. But what was really hard about this was he had one of those ears that had gone south a bit. You're probably wondering what I mean by that. There's a bit coming up here, watch. What is it coming up here? Yeah, well, you'll see a bit of skin lift up just at the bottom, and you'll think, oh my word, what's he done there? Wait a minute now. There you go. Have a look at that, and you think, oh my God, he's created a massive hole. But that's just how thick the skin was, because underneath that, you might not be able to tell just yet, is fresh pink skin. So that's the true ear canal down there. Because when I first lifted that up and thought, oh no, what if I exposed ear? But it was actually just the ear canal. That's all it was. But yeah, it was shockingly thick. Shockingly thick. Here comes another one of them annoying ones. There you go, right above me now. If you've not done it now, do it now. What was I saying? Yeah, it needed some oil as well, very shortly. And again, as I'm peeling this away, you're thinking, it just looks like I'm just creating a massive crater in the ear, but it's really not. It's just exposing it. But yeah, his ear, that's what I was saying, his ear had gone south. It really hung down quite a lot. So to get into this ear, it was really difficult. You can't appreciate that from these videos sometimes. I really had to pull up his ear, because imagine your ear canals, well, they're not straight, but imagine it's like that. And his ear was like this. To actually get to this, I had to lift this up, and then you could see the hole going through it, but his ear was kind of hanging down, which a lot of things go south when you get a bit older. Ladies, you'll probably appreciate this more than men, although some things on men can go south as well. You'll know this if you're a bit older and you sit down too quick, gents. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some things are best left in your head. Which Mrs. Wizard does keep telling me. So just keep things in your head sometimes. There's no need for some of these things to get out. So what I had to do with the endoscope and the suction tube was really to, when I put it in, I really had to force to lift it up. On the soft portion, on the cartilage portion of the ear, I had to push it in and really force it up, which made it really difficult to get to any other part other than the base of this ear canal. But we did manage to get there in the end. Have we got time for dad joke of the day? Yes, we have. A couple of longer ones today. And if you've never watched any of my videos, you're wondering, what is he talking about? Every now and then, to stop myself and you guys getting bored about talking about the same thing, because there's not a lot else to tell you about this ear. A lot of skin in it. I'm trying to get it out. So we often do dad joke of the day. These are a bit longer though. I think you might like these. Better make sure I don't pick the wrong one as well, because one of these is really inappropriate. I'm not going to read it. I know you'll be saying to me, please read that one. I can't. Right, this one is a series of jokes called Little Johnny. I don't know if you have it anywhere else in the world, but in the UK it's a bit of a thing. So, Little Johnny's next door neighbour had a baby. Unfortunately, the little baby was born with no ears. When they arrived home from the hospital, the parents invited Little Johnny's family to come over and see their new baby. Now, Little Johnny's parents were very afraid their son would have a wise crack to say about the baby. So his dad had a long talk with him before going to the neighbour's house. He said, "Now, son, that poor baby was born without any ears. I want you to be on your best behaviour and not say one word about his ears, or I'm really going to spank you when we get home." Dad don't condone that, by the way. "I promise not to mention his ears at all," said Little Johnny. And at the neighbour's house, Little Johnny leaned over the crib and touched the baby's hand. He looked at the baby's mother and said, "Oh, what a beautiful little baby." The mother, who had braced herself for Johnny's comment, was pleasantly surprised and said, "Thank you very much, Johnny, that's very sweet of you." Johnny said, "This baby has perfect little hands and perfect little feet. Just look at his pretty little eyes. Did his doctor say he can see good?" "Why, yes," said the mother. "The doctor said his vision is perfectly normal. Why do you ask?" Johnny said, "Well, that sure is a good thing, because he sure as hell won't be able to wear glasses." Right, I think we've finished that one just at the right point now. Have a look at all this dead skin. And like I said, the entire thing goes all the way down to the eardrum. It took some loosening and persuading to come out. And you might just be able to see at the top of the image, the cartilage portion of the ear just kind of hanging down over there. So it was really hard to get any higher on this. But having a good wrestle with it, and you will see the whole thing come out. And when you see the whole thing come out, you'll see underneath it. I don't know why I'm holding it on like this. You'll see underneath it there's a really thick white blob, and that's the bit that was on the eardrum. Any minute now. Needed a really good tug, as you can probably see. What a battle that was. So lift it up, and yeah, all that there was on the eardrum and in the recess and covering the whole thing. And as soon as we removed that, it was instant how we could hear better straight away. Now you will see there will be left behind a a little bit of dead skin at the roof of the ear canal. There's a reason why I didn't get that, is because when I just started peeling this here, just about now, do you see just a twitch then? He felt that, and he felt that was quite uncomfortable. So we've cleared the ear canal, we've seen the eardrum, and you've got to remember there's a real patient behind these procedures that you see. And if someone says, I felt that a bit, it was a bit tender, then you stop. If you've done the main majority of the work, then you stop. It's the right thing to do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to leave me a comment. I would appreciate if you liked the video. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that too. But for now, take care of yourself, and I'll see you later. Ta-da.